Question 1. How do you feel about cooks that take Sunday off for religious reasons? I don't have a problem with it. One of the best bosses I ever had, an executive chef, he was Seventh-day Adventist, so he took every Saturday off. I believe it's Friday, sundown from Friday to sundown to Saturday, so he would be there Saturday night, but he wouldn't be there Friday and then most of the day of Saturday. Then he would be there Sunday. If you're religious and you have days of the week where you can't work, there's nothing wrong with that, and you shouldn't let anybody judge you. But if you are using it as an excuse not to ever work a certain day, then I have a problem with it, and I think you're a horrible person. Trans cooks, ? We're just jumping right out of the gate, aren't we? What the ever? Who cares? Can you cook? I think a lot of people don't really understand what social constructs are. And because of that, people have issues. It's not that big of a deal to just use the pronouns that people prefer that you use. And I think that I almost think that people that do have a problem with it have an issue with, like, they're insecure. That's just my opinion. How many times do you click your tongs together? Depends. Sometimes I'll click them once, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times. Sometimes I annoy all of the cooks because I will click them together with the rhythm of a song. What's your favorite towel stash spot? Okay, so in SpaceX, we work in kind of like a semi-truck trailer, which was supposed to be temporary. We're in phase 2 right now of getting an actual kitchen installed. Apparently phase 2 took a really long time to get underway. They just finished the dining area, but okay, that's neither here nor there. Semi-truck trailer. So there are these hot wells that people used to serve out of, and we kind of converted those into tables. So there's no electricity or anything going to them. There actually was gas going to them, and we didn't know this, so funny story there some other time. You can open the tables, and nobody ever uses those. So and there's almost always stuff on them. So what I do is I take a load of towels and I stick them in the hotel pans inside the dead steam table and keep them there. So that way when we run out of towels, I have some extra ones. That's my towel stash spot. Don't tell anybody at work. Unfortunately, I think there's like 2 people that actually do watch my channel at work, so they know where my stash spot is now, but whatever. What are some good chef shoes? If you're going to buy online, I would either go for shoes or for cruise. And if you're not going to get them from Shoes for Cruise, I would go buy specific brands if you're looking for a really good brand. I think Birkenstock, you can get custom images. I'm not 100%. Let me know if I've got the brand wrong. There's one brand where you can do custom images, but I do know Birkenstock. I've heard multiple people talk about Birkenstock and say that they're awesome. So that's the brand that I would recommend. What are your thoughts on neck tats? Neck tats, hand tats, face tats, arm tats, chest tats, whatever tats you have. Totally fine. It's like the trans thing. Can you cook? As long as you want the tattoos, rock whatever you want. There was actually a really good cook that was getting ink shamed in one of the Facebook groups. He makes really awesome food, and after I hit 500 subs, I plan on doing a live stream, and I want to pull him onto the live stream and talk about his career and everything like that. But most people are saying, like, you're limiting your career, and you made really bad life choices or whatever. But his food's better than mine. Like, he should be doing the YouTube channel, not me. Having tattoos doesn't mean anything. For me, it's about if you can cook. I think it's ridiculous when people get tattoos when they haven't been cooking that long and don't know if maybe they won't like it and it's a chef's-themed tattoo. But if it's something that you genuinely believe is your career and you want to get a tattoo like that, that's fine. So I don't know that I could get a neck tat. I imagine they're pretty painful. So good on anybody that actually can sit through getting a neck tattoo. Did you see that viral video of the popcorn salad? That's an old video, and yes, I did see it.
I love that cheesy seasoning. The texture of the popcorn in this salad is so weirdly good. I just can't get enough of it.
If it's something that you believe works and you want to share that recipe, I don't see anything wrong with that. People will make fun of it because people haven't heard of popcorn salad, but check it out. If you use Orville Redenbacher Smart Pop popcorn, or you use Air Pop popcorn, and you make a salad out of it, it is going to have less calories than macaroni salad, and maybe even potato salad as well. People aren't used to seeing popcorn being used in a salad, but I'm going to challenge you right now. Did you try it? 1, and if you tried it, did you like it? I actually want to know in the comments. Are you saying you don't like it or that it's gross or weird because it's new or because you have experience with it in some way. And my guess is you don't have any experience with it, and it's just this new thing, and other people were making fun of it, so you jumped on the bandwagon. Let me know, do you want me to try out a popcorn salad? Because if you do, I will totally make a video making popcorn salad. How hot is your kitchen? My kitchen, up until we have two different types of AC going at the same time. We have the one unit, which is gigantic. When you stand in front of them and you breathe, you can see your breath. Even with that, especially if we have the grill going, the kitchen has gotten up to 125 and is regularly at about 105 to 110 degrees. Now that we've got the other AC fixed, we've gotten it down to between like a range of 85 to 95, which is still pretty hot, but it's not nearly as hot as it was. We actually had multiple times where we were genuinely worried about heat stroke, somebody getting heat stroke. I'm glad they're okay. I'm glad they were able to recognize that there was something going on, and they were able to step off, take care of themselves, get some water. And we do have free water, free Gatorade on the line. Hot as fuck kitchen. So if you are new to cooking, if you haven't ever cooked in your life and you had stumbled across this Q&A and are curious about it, kitchens will get hot. There's literally a saying, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. That's what they're talking about. So sometimes if you get lucky and you end up in a new kitchen, the new kitchen can be well ventilated and have a really good AC and be indoors. Because like I said, we're in a semi-truck trailer. So even with the AC going full blast, the insulation isn't perfect, and there's a lot of issues. It gets hot. What's your favorite thing to prep? I like trimming cuts of meat, even though it's time consuming. I really like trimming cuts of meat because you almost get into like a zen. That's one of those things that I wish I could do. If I could record at work, I would just put on the head cam and then just do like a visual ASMR of trimming meat for fucking 2 hours or whatever. Just sitting there with an audiobook in, with my fillet knife, trimming the meat, trimming flank steak or skirt steak or whatever we're going to do, tri-tip. There's just something about cleaning it and then ending up with a clean piece of meat and getting it ready for the next day that I really enjoy it. What's your favorite thing to prep? Let me know in the comments. Okay, this one is a two-part question. I have two questions. The first one is, why or how did you get into cooking for a living? And the second question is, do you stay at the end of your shift to help the dishwasher get things done so that he or she isn't the last person to leave the kitchen? I'm going to answer the second one first. We are the dishwasher. We do cooking so there's about 1,500 engineers there. We usually serve anywhere from 300 to 450. It depends on how busy things are. Sometimes there's more. Sometimes there's catering events in addition to that. But we have a lot of pots and pans and dishes and stuff that are left over after we are done. So we usually will either take turns. Somebody will be on dishes while everybody else is cooking. And then whatever's done at the end of the day, the dinner cook takes over and finishes those dishes off. And if there's a lot, if it's more than what they can do in about 30 or 40 minutes or so, somebody else will stay in the kitchen or somebody else will stay and help. So technically, to answer your question, yes, I do stay and help the dishwasher, but the dishwasher is the cooks. As how I got into cooking, I kind of did a spontaneous video last night, kind of giving up my experience and stuff. So if you want to see that video, go ahead and check it out. I'll link it up here somewhere. So I originally got into cooking for selfish reasons. That's Jelly Bean, by the way. She will be visiting from time to time. She loves to get in whenever I decide to record a video. So probably be seeing a lot of her. How did you get into cooking? Originally, I got into cooking for selfish reasons. I didn't have a lot of money. I was 17, trying to live on my own, and there is a whole story about that, which I can go into in another video if you're interested. Otherwise, we'll just sum it up by saying it was probably one of the worst times of my life. And I realized that if I worked at a restaurant, I could get free food. As far as how I got into cooking at the level that I am now, that journey happened because of a dude named Richard. And Richard was a really good cook. He was a really good chef, and he used to work at a really, really high-end fancy restaurant, the kind of place that the president visits, and he made creme brulees for Secret Service and stuff like that. I touched on that briefly in another video, but he gave me a book that was his college textbook from the CIA. And that's really what sparked my interest in wanting to take cooking very seriously. Before, it was the job that I was at until I could go to college and find something better. And I didn't really have a lot of passion for it. But when I saw what you can do with food, that triggered something in me, and I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Making that decision at 22, maybe I wasn't serious. When you're 22, the decisions that you think that you are solid in, you find out later maybe you're not too solid in them. Relationships are a really good example of that. Almost everybody here that's reached 30 has an ex-girlfriend at this point. If not, congratulations. That's actually really freaking awesome. But my point is that we don't always make the best decisions. This was one that I think was a really good decision because before I turned 30, I already had a decade of experience, starting when I was 17 in Pizza Hut and then working in different varieties of food. That's how I got started as a chef. How do you decompress after a particularly long shift? I come home to my girlfriend and I play video games. Longest shift I ever did, I believe, was 19 hours working at Chartwell's for catering. It was Blue and Gold Week and a bunch of other stuff, and it was disgusting. But we got through it, and they loved the food, so that's really what matters. My girlfriend is the person that has all that stuff melt away. When I get home, I kind of am reminded of what I'm actually doing here on Earth, and her and the kids are really awesome. So I'll make some dinner and we'll sit down and we'll play some video games. We'll BS. At the end of the night, we cut some fruit and watch some TV and go to bed. On the weekends, I get the whole weekends, and I try to wake up before she wakes up and do some recording, and then I edit on Sunday. I want the most amount of time possible with my family. I plan my YouTube videos when I'm in the car, and then I try to execute as much as I can. I take my personal time before they're up out of bed. So that way I get more time with them during the week. If you want to know anything about what it is to be a line cook, a chef, or even a new management, start now by subscribing to the channel, and I will provide any information I can. I also am heavily interactive with the community, so I will answer questions directly, and if they're important enough, may even make a video about them, similar to what I just did today. There should be a video popping up right around here. Go ahead and click on that if you want to see more content from me. You guys have a wonderful, amazing day, and I will see you next week. Peace.